right into the to the show, I guess. Here we go. Hey everybody. So today we've got a lot going on. I've got some news stories to talk about. We're going to play Skyrim afterwards. If you're watching this on YouTube, remember that you could always head over to Twitch and hang out with us during this newscast, twitch.tv/Stando, or you can check it all out over at occasionaldilemma.com. That's awesome too. Another thing that I want to point out is if you've got news stories, you can submit them. I made a special place to submit those on our Discord server. Again, I'll put that Discord link down in the description box if you're watching on YouTube. You guys on Twitch already know where it's at, so make sure that you are sending me the news submissions that you guys want to talk about, and that's where it's at. Okay, guys, just to let you guys know that you can be a part of the show. Just put everything that you want, links in news submissions area on Discord. All right, guys. That being said, today's been a pretty good day. Had a good time in Elite Dangerous. Beat God of War yesterday. I need to find out how I want to do reviews. I kind of still want to do reviews the way we've always done reviews, but finding time to do them. I got so many reviews to catch up on that it's insane. Just to let you guys know. So there is that. But I will think of something in the near future, I hope, and we will get those reviews out to you guys. I got let's see. Shadow of the Colossus review, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild review, God of War, Far Cry 5. There's just been so many games that we've played this year, and I've yet to get caught up on reviews. So I need to take time to do that. Maybe we take, I don't know, one stream morning off here and there just to get caught up. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I definitely will get caught up on those. Just letting you guys know to be patient as we ease back into filling you guys over at YouTube with content like this news program and other things. That being said, let's jump into the news. And first up in today's news is Ubisoft is instant banning toxic players from Rainbow Six Siege, which is a good thing. All right, guys. Matter of fact, let's jump down in here. You can see Ubisoft is instant banning toxic players from Rainbow Six Siege. Ubisoft is making an effort to clean up some of the more toxic parts of Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege community. It began banning players who use hate speech in text chat last week, according to PC Gamer. Ubisoft confirmed to PC Gamer via email that new banning system is live in the online tactical shooter. At first time offense, ban lasts for 30 minutes, according to the game's recently updated code of conduct, and it reportedly prevents players from using any aspect of Siege, including the terrorist hunt mode or custom games. So, any aspect of Siege, including the terrorist hunt mode or custom, so you can't use any part of the game if you're throwing out these racial slurs. I say good. There's a lot of other companies doing this right now, and good on Ubisoft for sticking to their guns. You know, basically, a lot of people are getting mad and trying to, tweet on Twitter and throwing shade at Ubisoft. I can't believe I got banned. We've always been able to do it. Blah, blah, blah. And Ubisoft is pretty much responding back with, well, good. Stop being an asshole. So that's good. Matter of fact, right here, banning people for saying the N-word on M-rated game. Glad to see you're focusing on real issues. Rainbow Six Siege official account comes back, fighting against toxicity and cleaning up. Oops. Let's come back. Fighting against toxicity and cleaning up the Siege environment is a very real and important issue. Overwatch has been saying that they want to do this via the vocal chat. Also, you got Microsoft who's wanting to do this, and I just think it's a good thing because, the N-word or homophobic slurs or any of that stuff. It just don't do it. The world would be a better place if nobody speaks that way to each other. I mean, I understand you get mad, but come on, reel it in. There's other ways to troll other people, and this is what you guys doing is just disgusting, and it's no real way to act. But again, that's just my opinion. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Hey, Friendly, it's good to see you in chat. What do you guys think about game companies banning people for what they say over the mic or what they say in text chat? A lot of people say, well, it's not freedom of speech. They're taking away freedom of speech. Not really. They kind of own the private servers where you are communicating with others, and they want to make a safe environment. They're not throwing you in jail. They don't have the power to do that. The government's not going to come for you thinking or acting a certain way. It's just they're trying to make a safe, nice, pleasant environment for people to play in, and good on them. Good on them. All right, we got some news on the Battlefield 5 beta. It will take place in early September. This comes from PC Gamer. Electronic Arts has confirmed that Battlefield 5 will have an open beta and that it will take place sometime in the first part of September. Specific date hasn't been revealed yet, but EA did discuss some of the things it will change based on what it learned from a recently concluded closed alpha test. Some issues with matchmaking during the test period, although I think that's to be expected in an alpha. I'd be more surprised if everything worked like it was supposed to. Nonetheless, it promised improved matchmaking and stability for the future, and also touched on specific elements it's working on, such as queue and chat systems. Hopefully they get this right, because Battlefield has a legacy in the past of not having a good matchmaking system. Like, the matchmaking was completely broken, and server, some of the Battlefields didn't even come with server browsers upon initial release, and things like that. So, and I remember to this day, Battlefield 4, it is so hard to make a party to get into a game, and so I really hope that they fix this. I really, really do. Hate speech isn't protected under the First Amendment. Good point, Friendly. Good point. Yeah. Jump you up here in the chat with me if you want to. Here you go. Hey, Friendly.
Hey.
Heyo. How are you doing today?
Not great.
Not great? What's the matter? Tell me all about it. Let's have a discussion.
It's kind of about personal life.
Oh, okay. Well, let's not do that then.
Yeah, not if you're doing a YouTube video.
All right. Fair enough. So, you're okay with Ubisoft insta banning toxic speech? Yeah?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And you got anything to add on that?
Overwatch, where you at, bruh?
Who?
Overwatch, where you at?
Yeah, Overwatch, where you at? Yeah, I think it's a lot harder. It's easier to do text speech than it is.
Yeah.
But Overwatch, Blizzard has been saying that they've been wanting to do that for a long time. Of course, they already do it in World of Warcraft, so maybe. I don't know. Battlefield 5.
That's one of the things.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, that's one of the things that's keeping me away from Overwatch is how toxic the community just seems to be.
Exactly. I feel you there. Yeah, a lot of people, they just don't want to hear it. They want to get in their game. They just want to have fun, None of this hate and stuff. I guess I understand the trash talking element to an extent. I'm also in the camp that maybe you just make bad players play with bad players. Like, players who behave badly, make them play with players who behave badly. But I don't know. What do you think of the Battlefield 5 beta?
I've never been a fan of Battlefield.
Yeah, I knew you weren't, so I didn't know if you had any input on that. It's good that they're acknowledging and fixing stuff, though. As always, with any multiplayer online game with online elements or whatever, that they're really testing it and ready to make tweaks and changes. And it looks like it's getting ready to set to really target that October 11th release date, and hopefully the closed beta will help. So we'll see. Hey, Virajasaur chimes in. Welcome back to the subscriber. Producer of the show, Virajasaur. Just hate hearing little kids bitch when I play. I feel you, dog. I feel you. It's alright. Here's some interesting news. You guys remember Alien Colonial Marines? It was a game that was very divisive on the internet. For one, it was not received poorly. It was not reviewed great at all. Okay, it had lots of problems. For example, the graphics weren't all that great. It was a graphic download. What they teased looked better than what the actual release was, so that was one of the controversies behind the game. Just little things like that. The AI was pretty dumb, and they would clump together. And the mechanics were kind of not great. Well, it turns out that all of that could have been due to one little typo in an INI file. Not making this up, they found this out now that the game's actually released, that the line of code in the INI file was supposed to make the aliens tether a certain way to the player, and they spelled tether in the INI file TEATHER instead of THE without the A, THER. Yeah, so that's crazy that this could, let's say that it's holding a 40 or 50% on Metacritic. This could have been the difference maker. This could have been like 20 points on Metacritic. You know what I'm saying? Like, this could have made or broke your game upon release. Devs, what Tether versus Tether? Yeah, see, Tether versus Tether, right here. Wow. Apparently, a lot of people are saying that you can get the game right now for $3. You can get the game right now for $3 and mod it up with some graphical overhaul, and then fix the AI yourself by just switching the tether to tether in the INI file. That's crazy. And it apparently works. Kotaku and a bunch of other Ars Technica here, they went back and tested the game, and it works just like it was originally envisioned, which is crazy. So, what do you think of? Would you revisit a game? Would you revisit a bad game if you can make that small modification to make it good?
Possibly, depending on how I thought that one fix would improve the game.
Right.
And if I was curious.
Well, I mean, it kind of breathes new life into it, because if a lot of people share this and saying, "Hey, you can get the old game for $3," yeah, it's not that great of a game, but you can make it better by just swapping around some, just by fixing one line in your INI file. That's crazy. To me, that seems crazy. All right. Last story of the day that I got for you guys is Atari VCS RAM upgraded to 8 gigabytes, and Atari confirmed you can put in a normal Linux distribution on it. Look, I'm still not sold on this Atari box. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but they went to GDC, which is the Game Dev Conference, right? They set up in a hotel room across from the venue. They invited journalists over. The journalists criticized them for only having They recorded the conversation. The journalists interviewed them, recorded the conversation, went back, wrote an article. It was like, it's just a hunk of plastic. We really don't know. The guy wasn't, telling us what the box was going to do. I don't really think that they know what they're doing. This seems more like a scam, blah, 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 blah. Well, Atari called them out, calling them fake news and stuff. And the guy's like, no, hold on. Let me get the recording and show you what they were telling us at this event where they're supposed to know what they're talking about. And he released that tape. So, and they're taking pre-orders on this box is supposedly like $300, right? And
Jeez.
yeah, it's like $400, and there's still no specs locked down to it. So saying that they've decided to upgrade the RAM from 4 gigabytes to 8 gigabytes, which gives it quite more room to breathe, and then there's still so many controversies on this. Like they went to showcase an indie game. I can't remember what the name of the indie game running on the machine. When the indie devs like, well, that's funny. We didn't do any port work. This has got to be a fake. Ba-dang. Because, there's no way that, we've not signed anything with Atari or working with Atari. Like, this is just... This is bad. This is bad.
Yeah, that just sounds like some shady business going on.
Yeah, it does. They say the VCS hardware will be powered by AMD Bristol Ridge family APU now with Radeon R7 graphics, and is now going to get 8 gigabytes of unified memory. This is a huge upgrade from what was originally specified, and unlike other consoles, it's all available. We won't reserve 25% of our hardware resources for system use. How are you going to do that? Because you're going to have to put an operating system on there. And you even mention it later on. It's going to run some sort of Linux OS. So how's it not going to use any CPU? I don't know. They also explained why they went with the Bristol Ridge instead of Ryzen. Yes, on paper, Ryzen family is technically better, but without increasing the cost and having a higher thermal capacity, a Ryzen APU would never run at full performance. When the Ryzen is operating in a thermally limited environment, its performance is only marginally better than the Bristol Ridge. So they're saying that they're putting the Bristol Ridge in because it works better inside the plastic shell, where it's in tight quarters, and it doesn't have to work as hard as the Ryzen does because it's a much cooler, low grade and more affordable processor, which that kind of makes sense. I get that. Okay. They're calling their version of Linux Atari OS. Our core architecture consists of the Atari Secure Hypervisor and heavily modified Linux kernel called the Atari OS. All of this runs in flash memory, and before the Atari OS loads, any external storage device is checked, and if bootable device is found, the other OS on the device is loaded instead. So let me ask you guys a question. This sounds like a Steam box. And if you guys don't know what Steam box is, basically a PC that you plug into your TV that you hook a controller with, and it runs the Steam OS on it, the console mode, if you know what I'm talking about. Who is this console for? Because last I checked, Atari doesn't make games anymore, so first party is going to be pretty weak. And if it's just playing indie games and some old retro Atari games that you can download for like $1 on Steam, or $1 from the PlayStation, or $10 from the PlayStation Store, or $10 from the Xbox Live Store, who is this console for? Can somebody tell me? I just don't know what market they're going after, who their market is. It's unclear. And another thing that's really sketchy about this is it's on Indiegogo. Now here's the difference between Indiegogo and Kickstarter. If you go to Kickstarter to pitch a console idea, you have to have if you go to Kickstarter, you have to have a prototype. Indiegogo, you don't have to have a prototype. So who is this for? And until it's manufactured, why would you support it? It just boggles my mind. I don't know who this is for. It's not filling a gap in the market. If anything, the Nintendo Switch is filling the the indie gap. Nintendo Switch is filling that gap. This is your console indie game machine with first party content on the go to take with you anywhere. That's what the Nintendo Switch is. So if Nintendo's doing this, who's Atari's customers? It makes no sense to me. Verizon says, I think it's for parents who want their kids to play the games they played with them when they were young. Yeah, but you can buy those games in those like flashback packs on PlayStation and Xbox. So it's, I just don't understand. Like, is filling the nostalgia gap? Maybe, but I don't know. You can make a much more like, kind of like Nintendo did with the NES Classic, and you can make like the Atari Classic, which is like one of their hundreds of flashbacks, right? Their Atari flashbacks, except put them all on one console with hundreds of games or whatever, because those games don't take a whole lot to run. You know, it's freaking Combat and Centipede we're talking about here. You know, I just don't see who this system is for, and unless they're making new games, and who are those devs? What does this system look like? I don't think it's going to turn heads. I just don't think. Other than the people who already funded it, I don't think it's going to grab much more. And that's just my opinion. Tilgar, are you here? Tilgar, I heard you a second ago.
I'm here.
What do you think of this Atari box? Who do you think it's for?
I have no idea. What's the Atari box again?
Atari box is the $400 console being put out by the shell company that used to be Atari.
I saw a trailer on that shit.
Yeah, what do you think? What gap in the market is this filling to you?
I have no idea who they're trying to. I guess they're trying to get, like I said, nostalgia. But I mean, there's, you already hit the points. To me, and they're not. Atari's not funding it itself. This is a fund me.
Yeah, this is Indiegogo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which means they don't have in my opinion, enough faith to put their own money behind it.
Well, they don't have money to put behind it. You got to think that Atari went bankrupt and has been a dead shill company for quite a long time.
Well, somebody owns Atari,
right?
Someone bought Atari.
But yeah, I just don't think this is. I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't think it's viable.
$400
in an already crowded market too, and you can't do. Here's the thing. What makes this different from a Steam box? First of all, second of all, if it's another Android type device that's using Linux instead of Android or whatever, we done seen what the Ouya did. It didn't turn any heads. You know what I mean? These little consoles that run mobile games aren't viable, and it seems like there's more power in this than that. So I just don't know. It's weird. It's in a weird place. But anyway, that's all the news that I had. Tilgar, anything you want to discuss?
No.
All right. Well, remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, to leave a like on the video. Remember to subscribe, hit the bell button so you get notified next time we go live with one of these news rants. We do this daily. And yeah, subscribe, guys, and we'll catch you guys next time. If you're watching on YouTube, you have a good one. In the meantime, I'm going to jump down into chat and discuss these news stories with them. Have a good one.